What is happening, guys? Welcome to FPL Dave's Monday After Stream. I'm FPL Dave, and today we're going to be going over pretty much every question that I've seen so far on social media, on Twitter, on Reddit, on bloody like forums, random forums that I'm like, who assisted and all that stuff, like online. There's people asking FPL questions. Mental. So I thought I'd just write all the questions down and we'll get through them one by one. How is everyone today? Everyone good? Who we got on the stream? Let me have a look. Liam's here. How's it going, buddy? It's Raw Fantasy. Finally a good game week with 63 points. Are you talking about me or you? We both got 63. It was meant to be, Liam. Me and you were like this. Okay, let's have a look to see what we've got in store for today. Game week 11 analysis. I want to talk about the Stream League. So the Stream League, this is the first kind of official week of it. I'm not 100% sure how leagues work. I kind of want everyone to join even if they haven't joined yet, but I'm not 100% sure if that means that people don't have their points attached to it or whatever. So if it actually works, if you haven't joined the stream or the league and then you jump on now, will that mean that they're like behind by a whole week? Because I hope not. Because I hope everyone joining will have their scores from game week 11 onwards. That would be awesome. But I want to have a look to see, because they're, like Claters said, what's happening, Claters? There's a shit ton of good points happening in the league just now. Like I'm second last and I had a good week. It's just such a thing, like making a league for just the stream and then everyone's doing better than you anyway. Oh, such is life. They can still join and have the points. Perfect. Awesome. I'm so glad. So yeah, today we're going to look at the stream. We're going to look at my game week. We're going to look at the fixture hunt. Basically trying to find the best fixtures coming up, and also talk about how the fixture swings are happening game week 13-ish for quite a lot of teams. So we'll look at that. And then questions I'm seeing everywhere. I feel like making this a permanent thing. Because every podcast, every stream, everything, if you go on Twitter right now and you scroll down, you look at everything, they all ask for questions for their podcasts and their blah, 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 and their blah, blah, blah. And so many people, and it's great because it's a really, really good opportunity to find out what the general people are, because you kind of get tunnel visioned with your own 11 players or your own 15 players, and you don't really think about Salah that much because you don't have them or whatever, right? So it's good to get a grasp of where everyone in the community is, and you can kind of get a general idea. But it's always the same questions. So instead of me asking you questions and like send me your questions in, just like everyone does, I'm just going and stealing everyone's questions. So I'm not gonna say, oh, this person asked this podcast this question. I just wrote like basically what everyone in their gran has been asking this week, and I write it down. So questions I'm seeing everywhere, and we're gonna get to that. And then viewer rate my teams. There hasn't been many sent in. I did miss a few last week, and the second half of FPL audit, if you're here, I'm definitely going to get to your team. And I also kind of want to look at, I don't know, let's look at Holly's team this week or something. So yeah, that's what we got in store. I hope everyone had a good game week. It fucking looked like it. It definitely looked like it. Let us have a look at, first of all, the league, because this is the competition you're hitting at, right? Let's have a look at this. And mute you. Bam. All right, can you guys see that? We've got It's Raw, a regular on every stream I've ever produced, every tweet, everything, been here since day dot, kicking in with a 92 in the game week. Holy shit, mate. And you sent your team in to be rated? Get absolute fucked. You want me to rate your team? Look at how good you're doing. Nah, I'll still rate it, buddy. I love you loads. But like, yeah, so your team is absolutely banging. You got all the big hitters this week. You even had Mane, like everyone who I want. You got lucky with Aguero captain. I feel like if you weren't gonna captain Sterling, and you're not in the De Bruyne camp like I am, like Aguero was a decent choice. Very, very lucky that you didn't bench any of the people. Like, you could have even got even better. Look, if you had Tielemans out and brought in Rico instead, oh my god, you would have had like a potentially, or Mount rather, you could have had 100 point. You were so close to that too. Oh man, what a team. What a team. What a game week well in. Liam says he's not bottom of the league. Where are you in the league, Liam? Let's find you. Liam. Just above me. Actually, we're tied. We're tied, 63. But I took a hit, so I'll be below you. Wow. Some excellent ones. There's Balotelli Tubbies. Sean. Is Sean here? I think it's the same Sean that I've been seeing all the time. Let's have a look. 90 points. Fucking hell. 3 transfers for -4. Let's guess who he brought in. I haven't actually looked at any of these, but it's really interesting to see people's how lucky people have been. Sam and James, Jim's here. Best mod in the West. Did you join the league? I'm assuming you joined the league. Can he not have my mod in here? Claytor's bench was so sad to look at. I know, I got nailed with the bench too. I'll show you guys in a second. Right, this is the same hitters, right? Lundstrom, he had Madison and Mount, Vardy. Wow, I just won this team. Oh my god. And the double up there, not even getting punished for not having Sterling. Great. All right. Wasn't told about any league. That is what's happening this week. If you do ! league, oh, I can't spell league code. Bam! This code for the stream league is GDCTFO. That's I've forgotten G already. I was gonna do that alphabet. Delta, Charlie, Tango, Foxtrot, Oscar. What's G again? Golf. Golf, Delta, Charlie, Tango, Foxtrot, Oscar. So get in the league if you haven't done so. Some stiff competition. We're starting from game week 11 onwards. So the first 10 were just kind of practice run. This is the league. This is the only league I care about. I know I said that I care about the head-to-head, but that's the only head-to-head I care about. This is the actual league. So hopefully anyone who's jumped in, your points get added. Claytor said it does happen, so that's good. So welcome. Let's look at my sorry ass team. Compared to the 90s, it looks rubbish, right? But I had Soy on the bench first of all, and that absolutely kills. I picked, if you just think about it this way, right? Would you rather home versus Newcastle or away versus Crystal Palace? And that's all I did. I was like, bam, Cresswell. 3-0 by like half time or some bullshit. It was the worst ever. And then knowing that Soy was to come next week, I'm like, all right, he's gonna get a clean sheet. But at least Schmeichel kind of cancels that out. And then lo and behold, he got a goal, all 3 bonus points, and a clean sheet. What can you do? Although I've seen other people, they had Lundstrom on the bench, and that's even harder to take. Tongue Loftus doesn't tweet very often a play-by-play of what's happening in his game week. He tends to kind of tweet before and after, but this week he was sweating bullets because he had Cancelo on the pitch and Lundstrom first on his bench, but it turned out okay for him, unfortunately for the rest of us. I would have loved to watch that unfold, and just the sheer panic when Cancelo puts on his little takes off his bib, puts on his Man City stuff, and he's ready to go on. That'd be amazing. So yeah, everyone in the stream, I feel like everyone that comes regularly that I've been looking at had a great week. It really was a topsy-turvy week. You either had all the people who did really, really well, like Lundstrom or Soy, or you didn't have any of them and you absolutely plummeted. So it's a tough break. Just 1 or 2 players kind of swinged it for a lot of us. Jimmy got 61. That's higher than me, my man. I know that says 63, but I did take a hit. We can talk about the hit a little bit. Oh yeah, shit, we didn't see who Sean brought in last week. Hold on, we gotta do that. Right, he had all them. He didn't have Salah. And he had Aguero. And he had Callum Wilson. So that's Vardy, Callum Wilson, and Vardy, Salah, and he benched Greenwood. Bam! I did it. Is that right? Yay! That's the one. That's what he did. Okay, yeah, sorry. What were we going to talk about? The Aguero to Sterling switch has came at a perfect time for me, because I went from Aguero, because he hadn't been starting, to Sterling, and Sterling blanked and Aguero scored. Now that's sod's law, absolutely fine. I agree with it. Totally seen it coming a mile off. But it meant that I could get Vardy, and that was the only time I could do it, because Vardy's price that day that I did it rose, and that would have immediately blocked me out from doing that. And Cantwell went down, and Aguero went down. So I couldn't have done it any other way. And so in that respect, it wasn't even, see, when Aguero scored, I was like, I would have done it. Even if I'd known that Sterling was going to blank and Aguero was going to score, I would have done it anyway. Especially since Vardy kind of cancelled out Aguero's goal a little bit for me, but it's still a hit. I still lost points on it altogether. Next things on my transfer watch, like what I'm kind of thinking of doing, before we get into the fixture run of things. Everyone is seemingly wanting to know whether to get rid of Sterling or not, and I'm just like, I've just transferred him in, so there's no way. People who are staying on my bench are in my team till the end of time. It seems like now, Abraham, Mount, De Bruyne, Vardy, Alexander-Arnold, Soyuncu, Lundstrom, Rico, and Schmeichel, right? So that leaves David Silva and Cresswell and Firmino. Now, I don't even want to talk about Firmino. He's got an armpit. An armpit! Over the line. He's not going to fucking score with his armpit, is he? Fucking raging. I'm raging. Jimso! Best mod ever. Oh no, I've got them muted because we had a guest on last time. I'll do it for you. Thank you so much for the sub, my man. Let's hear that beautiful subscription noise. Here we go. Oh no, why isn't it playing? Oh no, I've broken it. I've broken it. Did that play for you guys? Oh no. See, I don't know how it works. So there's a little mute event sounds button, but then when I turn it off, it just doesn't play. It's weird. It's weird. Video capture, no. Audio, no. Oh well, we'll fix it later. We'll fix it later. I was kind of getting everything ready for our guest last week. If you saw that, thank you very much for watching. If you were here during the whole thing, we had Tom from Who Got the Assist on, and he was hilarious. He was so good, and I could just listen to that guy talk for ages. I know he was worried about being boring, but like, oh my god, was that man interesting. So hi, cheers Tom for coming out, and thanks everyone if you're here and you watched it, because that shit was fire. FPL General when we were doing the pod today, he was like, yeah, no, I really liked it. I put it on in the background on a Saturday. It's just easy listening. And I was like, I can't believe I'm part of your Saturday, mate. I put you on when I'm walking to work. It's just weird. It's weird talking to people you listen to while walking to work. It's a strange thing, especially when I listen to people at double speed. I listen to like 8 podcasts or something, right? So you've got to kind of get them going, and yeah, so I listened to everyone on double speed, all my podcasts, so it was weird listening to like Tom and all the rest of them. Anyway, enough chat. Let's talk FPL. I want rid of David Silva because he was only a 2-week punt. I'm not expecting him to get injured, but 10 points in 2 weeks, not bad. I wish I had went Mane, because in those 2 weeks he has got a 12 and a 5, so 17. But that would meant that I couldn't have gotten Vardy and I wouldn't have gotten Sterling. So swings and roundabouts. David Silva probably has to go. Cresswell also now no longer an option. West Ham have just been doing pants. They haven't kept a clean sheet in a while. Actually, when was the last time they kept their... They did that 3 in a row, and then since I got Cresswell, I think they haven't really had a clean sheet. So he's kind of gone. The next thing to talk about is Firmino and what I'm going to do. Now, I really think Liverpool's fixtures are one of the best coming up, and you know they're going to do well. But I kind of want rid of him as well. Everyone else I want to keep. Everyone else I'm very happy with. Except for El Neni. Although, to be fair, he's never let me down. He's never let me down. Daffs. just had a massive game week from 1.2 million to 190,000. What the what? What? 1.2 million to 190. What points? What did you get? Did you get like 100? Wow. Jimso says, any Rex for 4.5 defenders, thinking in terms of differential clean sheets in the next couple of fixtures. I've dropped out of top million, you jammy bastard. I know, oh my god. Daffs, are you in the league? Are you in the league? Let's do this. Alright, I'm just going to keep plugging it. League code. Bam. Jump in there. I want to look at your team. This is kind of a way for me to just jump into your team. You say you have a good week, I'm going to go look. Yeah, just jump in there, buddy. I want to look at your team. I want to see all the goodies. What did you get? What was your code? Or not code. What was your score? So yeah, back to my team. We'll have a look at Daft's amazing, incredible score. That's such a good green arrow, buddy. Well done. Fucking yes. Yes. I love it when people who watch me do well. It makes me feel good, even though you didn't do anything. You probably have not learned a single thing. All right, Claytor says, how many free transfers? Just the one. Yeah, so this is in these that you're seeing on the screen are about kind of longish term changes. So I actually think I'm going to hold this week. So I probably won't make any of these transfers now. I know that David Silva's not going to be doing much. And I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be dropping soon. Actually, let's go look at his price. David Silva. Madison's is going up tonight, by the way. David Silva. He's not really that close to dropping, although he is dropping fast. I've made 0.1 million on him, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah. I kind of want rid of him. I don't really need him. I only wanted him for 2 weeks. I knew he would play for both those weeks. I called that correctly. I don't really know what to do with him, though. I kind of want Mane, but everyone has Mane. If you didn't know, it goes De Bruyne, Sterling, Mount, Mane, then Salah. That's the ownership. The highest ownership. So getting Mane in when I'm still 2.2 million or whatever I am, it's kind of detrimental to where I want to be as like in FPL. If I do this big transfer and get Mane in, which I can absolutely do, I could do what we've been talking about, get Mane in, and then maybe get in IU, or what's that striker? I've got enough for him. Or I could do that striker that we were talking about for Sheffield United. He's also an option at 4.9 million. You know, these are options. These are definitely options. But that team is so template. And that's the only problem. That's the only problem. Daft says 80 plus for the last 2 weeks. That's all it takes, my man. That's really, really good. After the big transfer debacle last week, Rico and Tillemans didn't rise. Wasn't that urgent after all? Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, obviously we use these sites, these price change predictors, to like make sure we know roughly what's happening. But you can never ever just jump on someone with like, yeah, they're definitely going to go, they're definitely not going to go. There's always a bit of leeway, especially now this season when we know that there's been a little bit of inconsistencies with it. Claytor says, I found fantasy football fix is more reliable. Yeah, they're all kind of good in their own way. I've actually never used fantasy fix. Fantasy football fix. Bam, let me have a look. Oh, you need to kind of join. Aye, I've seen this being screenshotted. So yeah, whatever works for you. But I don't take it as gospel. Last season, I was like, yeah, this price thing's legit. And I was telling all my mates about it, and then I got into the community, and then everyone knew about it, and I was like, oh, fuck. But then this year, that kind of hasn't been working out that much. That I think kind of means that there's been a bit of, like, someone's touching it somewhere in the high tower of FPL, as opposed to the like, math can't be wrong, right? And there's human error somewhere going on. Daft says, I want to get rid of Salah and LR, but not sure for who to bring in. Yeah, so we'll get to the questions that I see everywhere soon. But looking at the schedule, let's go right into the fixture hunt, okay? Before I do, I just wanted to mention a few things. Like Leicester, I know that they scored 9 goals, but after that, I said on the Fantasy Weekly pod that I think their defense is better than their attack, and I don't want anything to do with their midfield, because although Maddison is a good pick, I think Vardy's going to be on the end of most things, and I'd rather double up on their defense, which I have done for my own team. And they kind of showed that again. Crystal Palace is a difficult fixture, but they still got a clean sheet. They got 2 goals, one from one of the defenders, which is kind of a lucky goal, and then Vardy scored the other one. So I don't think Tielemans and Perez and Maddison are going to get as many points as Vardy. So if you could only pick one of them, it has to be Vardy, right? It just has to be. He's quickly becoming one of the highest owned players in the game. It's really difficult to suggest going for, Maddison over him, or over like a double defender, because I think they're just going to skyrocket. They've got that momentum. They've been working on it. They've been doing really well. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It's Ross has a really fancy Jimenez in for LR if you don't have him. Yeah, Wolves is one of our good, as you can see on the screen there. Leicester, Wolves, and Liverpool have really good fixtures, especially in the game week 13 fixture swing, which we should look at right now, to be honest. And then barely any chat delay on the stream tonight. Well, that's good. My internet is on point. Who else did I want to talk about? Son. Did you guys see Son crying? That's so hard. I know Son's crying is like a meme now, but it's so hard to take, and it shouldn't have been a red card. And I'm very interested to see if they'll rescind that if they appeal, because VAR said it was a red card, and the ref said it was a red card after seeing a foot going backwards, and then and honestly, Son didn't even complain. He was fucking gutted. So like, I hope Gomez is feeling better. They released a thing saying that he had a successful surgery, but I didn't even look at it. Like I did an impromptu, like, watch the games afterwards. I didn't watch them during, because it was a weird thing. You couldn't really find them anywhere. And I just heard that he had made a horrendous tackle and blah, blah, blah. And when I looked it up on football, on the subreddit, I was like, actually, do I want to watch this? So I just showed my girlfriend. I was like, can you please just tell me if his bones break? Because I fucking don't like, I've never broken a bone in my entire life, and I don't want to look at it. Just does, remember that fucking, do you remember Scarred? Was that the show Scarred, where they always showed like people just like with ridiculous things? Yeah, it was Scarred. MTV Scarred. Yeah, I can't watch that kind of shit. It just freaks me out. So I showed my girlfriend, and she looked at it, and she was like, oh yeah, don't watch this. And gave me my phone back, and I was like, cool. So I haven't actually seen the tackle. I haven't actually seen it. I don't want to watch it. But that sucks. Son was actually on people's radars a little bit, but now not so much, which sucks because he's the main man if Kane's not around, right? And he got an assist before his untimely tackle. Jimso says ankle turned 90 degrees and there's a close up of the leg poking out into his skin. Ooh. Remember Ramsey's ages ago was horrific? Yeah. The one that I think of most is when who is it? I don't even remember his name. But I just don't want to think about it. No, it sucks. Let's stop let's stop talking about it. Let's look at the fixtures. Fixtures, click on this spam. Alright, so we're going to use our Tim Buyer fixture thing as we always do. They've appealed it, says Josh. Hey Josh, how's it going? Josh had a great week as well. Were you on the old... I'm just going to look up the leagues, because I see people's names, and they're kind of similar to what they are on here. And there is a Josh here. Where are we? I seen you. I know you're here. Bring me the money. Is that you, Josh, on line 31? 86 points, you lucky son of a bitch. Played your triple captain, though. That sucks. David Bust was the worst ever, says Ben. How's it going, Ben? Wait, do I want to look up stuff? Should we just do that? We'll just have a stream of looking up horrible things, and you guys can like laugh at how absolute feeble I am. That triple captain makes me feel sick. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's just the same thing. Daffs, what team? What's your team name? Do you see you? Do you see you? I don't know if you're in yet. I don't know how it works, but there's definitely one person added in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I think it waits to say, oh, there you are. Who ate all the depies? So you'll be in next week, and it'll add up your tally. So let's look at the fixtures. Fraudiola is only ranked 14th. Yeah, that's a good point. If we look at the fixtures just now, the main ones that I pointed at that I wanted to look at is Man City has the second worst fixtures. So what does that mean for Sterling? What does that mean for De Bruyne, Aguero, or Jesus, whoever's got in? I feel like no matter who plays, we can't own Aguero anymore. We can't own Jesus anymore because it's too scary. I've been there, I've done that. Don't do it. I promise you it's shit. I promise you're going to feel like shit. So that's fine. Now we look at their midfielders. They're going to play De Bruyne all the time. That's a fact. Sterling gets benched for Bernardo Silva, and Mahrez gets benched for Bernardo Silva. So that's 2, right? So if Bernardo Silva's playing, then one of those 2 aren't. However, David Silva is now injured, so I'm expecting Mahrez, De Bruyne, Sterling, and Bernardo Silva to play next week. It's going to be really difficult for them to not play their best team every week, especially since they're so far behind Liverpool, and they're gonna want to win this game, right? They need to play their best team. So that kind of sucks for them that David Silva's not there. The problem with City is this weird defense thing that they keep doing, right? They keep he would love to. I feel like Pep has spent so much money, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he spent the most money in fullbacks than any other position in the last couple of seasons. I remember seeing a stat like that, and it's because I think he wants to get to a point where he has 2 amazing fullbacks and he just rotates them every game, because we all know that fullbacks need to have the most stamina. They need to run the most. They need to be up there. They need to go back there, especially with City's the way that they kind of set themselves up. The wingers don't produce the width. That's why everyone's been jumping on Sterling since Mendy came back, saying, "Oh my God, he's amazing," because Mendy allows him to drift in. It's because Mendy is on that wing at all times, right, up and down, and not many teams do that have that person that can be everywhere. And that's how you kind of get holes, right? But City were this team last year that they didn't have holes. So Mendy was able to get back in time. Walker was able to get back in time. But now, because they don't have that consistency, Mendy's back from a long injury, and Kyle and Cancelo are kind of now swapping in and out. They're kind of, these holes that weren't there last year are starting to appear, and it must be really frustrating for Man City. Pep especially, because he wants to be able to just play these players and for it to just work, but for whatever reason it might just be Laporte, and he's not there to do that thing that he's been doing last year. So it'll be really interesting to see if it's because of these fullbacks that he's swapping out, or that he wants to swap out, or if it's because Laporte's not playing, because we do know that Otamendi is absolutely shit. And most players transferred him out last week, but if you still have him, like, you can't. Did he come on? He came on for Aguero, didn't he? He came on Aguero to Otamendi, which sucks for so many people. So many people. Midfield choices are terrible. I can't pick someone that I know will guarantee me points. Yeah, no, that's the problem. Mendy back decided my triple captain, and then he didn't even play. Yeah. Claytor says, interesting how Sterling did in these fixtures last year. We can check that actually. And how many rate my teams were sent in? Not many. I think only 2. So I think we're gonna look at Holly's team or something later on. But I'm free balling it today because it was kind of, I was trying to polish the stream last week for the guest. FPL and chill. I try and set up everything, and so this week I was like, I can't be fucked. So I'm just gonna click on stuff as we go. It's gonna be a bit of a more organic stream. You can chip one in if needs be. Go on then. Send your team in, buddy. Send your team in. Let's do it. Right, we'll do some live ones then. Alright, that's cool. Don't you worry about it, lads. So fixtures, Man City. They have Liverpool, then Chelsea. Oh, you guys can't see that. That's kind of annoying. Let's go into it. Let's just go into it. Whoop. Get away. Right, so City here have Liverpool, then Chelsea, Newcastle's decent, Burnley's decent, Manchester United, they say it's hard, Arsenal, they say it's hard, right? These are actually not as bad. On paper, they're bad, right? But Chelsea have been playing well, they've been playing consistent, but against the bigger teams and also teams with decent strikers in, they're still conceding, right? I feel like Chelsea are going to lose that, especially since Man City are at home. I can't see Man City losing that, and because I can't see them losing that, they have to score, right? And who are their scorers going to be? There's going to be Sterling or Aguero, and if you think about it, if it's anyone else, it won't matter that much because they're very under-owned. And then they've got Newcastle, which is arguably one of the better fixtures of the season. And then Burnley, which is not the greatest, but it's not like a hard fixture. Burnley just got done by Lundstrom and the gang, so not the hardest. And then Manchester United is a derby, so you know they're going to go hard, and that's always hard to call anyway. And then Arsenal, who I think are just going to get fucking battered. So in this, there's really only 1 or 2 fixtures that I'm worried about, and the rest of them are okay. So for me, it's an easy keep your guys and don't worry about it. I can see how a lot of players would want to jump off right now, but you're going to jump off, like people selling Kevin De Bruyne are going to want him in when he starts consistently banging again. Sterling, I've done it, I've been there. Please do not sell Sterling. You're going to sell him, and then he's going to do really well, and you're going to feel really bad. And I don't want any of you guys to feel what I felt the last 4 game weeks of owning Aguero. It's horrible. Brighton is another team that are just have absolutely horrible fixtures. A lot of players brought Connolly in because they can easily bench him. But for the players who brought in, or the managers, sorry, that brought in Mopai, I don't really know what you're going to do. It's hard to bench £6 million worth of a player. And you know he's going to score in at least one of them. But pick which one. Like, who knows? Who knows? It'll probably be Leicester just to spite me. But that's a difficult one. So these are both, like, I wouldn't be wanting to triple up on any of these. Or Man City. I wouldn't want to bring in any Brighton players right now. If I have them, I'm probably going to want to bench them, etc., etc. Manchester United is a funny one because we knew a couple of game weeks ago that they had the best fixtures. And then when everyone was kind of bringing them in, they did really well against Norwich. And although there was a lot of shouts in the community of, it's fucking Norwich, just calm down. A lot of players, or a lot of managers didn't really listen. And yeah, they didn't do that well at the weekend. So it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to see. They don't have the worst fixtures, right? In the next 6 they do, because Tottenham and Man City and Everton, which this fixture tracker still thinks is difficult. But they've got Brighton, Sheffield, Aston Villa, and then 3 iffy ones, although I'd say Everton at home is pretty decent. And then Watford, Newcastle, Burnley. So on this side of Tottenham and Man City, even Tottenham's not that difficult, right? So you've got Brighton, I would say, is a decent fixture. It's okay. Sheffield is an absolute horrible fixture, especially away. They're going to cause issues. I wouldn't even bat an eyelid if that was a 0-0 draw. Well, I'm running out of bourbon really quickly. Aston Villa again. We talked about this on the pod today. We'll come out Wednesday, I think, right? But Aston Villa, let me have a look at them real quick. Aston Villa have caused problems for a lot of teams. Like Tottenham 3-1, at the start of the season, you know, scrapping that clean sheet. That wasn't an easy game. Remember, that was like last minute goals to make that look good. Against Arsenal 3-2, and that was at home. That was away, both of them away. And then home to Liverpool. Like Liverpool had to dig deep in the last game week to find that win. The only team that kind of have brushed them away is really Man City, but that's only on paper. In the actual game, it was really, really, really close. So I feel like their scores against the bigger teams aren't telling the whole story, and they are actually a difficult away side, or home side, doesn't really matter. So when we look at Manchester United fixtures, that's not a good one, and it's showing up as 63.8 difficulty rating, which is lower than Brighton, which I just don't believe. What's happening, Tom? Beating Dave and Liam in the Stream League by 1 point feels good. Is that true? Hold on, let me check. I feel like you're just saying that. You can't be. You can't be beating us. We are too good. Sexy stream. Where are you? Oh, you are. Yeah, but you played your triple. Oh my god, right. Beating us by 1 point. Beating us. Don't check how I got the extra 1 point. Oh, beating us by 1 point. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh, rip your team. Who'd you have on the bench? Ah, Rico. I've seen second on the bench in a lot of people. I think Jim's right. F's in the chat for that. Triple captain Sterling. Definitely. F's. If you're unfamiliar with Twitch, F's in the chat just means like press F to pay respects. And it comes from Hitman, actually. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, fixtures. Man United, not that great. Let's move on. So that was in the next 10, right? But if we look kind of short term, let's look at after that game week there, because it's a difficult one that's coming up. And actually, game week 13 or game week 14 and onwards, sorry, shows a big jump in a lot of teams. So I'm kind of wanting to cover it a little bit. So when Liverpool have a hard game week 12, and then they have a really good game week 13 onwards, is what everyone's kind of talking about. So let's kind of look at that actually. Very much looking forward to Villa going McGillen and on Man United. Oh, McGinn. I have no idea what that said. Yeah, I think McGinn could totally do it. He's too simple. I know. Sorry, buddies. Ding's time as well. I had to replace Son. Should I take hits to replace Aguero and Cho? See, Cho was up. Cho was something that everyone kind of jumped on. I'm not very happy with that. I think that was bad, and I said so on the stream. Should I take hits to replace Aguero? I did, so I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I couldn't read the McGinn thing. I mean, I understand in, but I just, yeah. I'm too... See, when it comes to reading, lads, you need to just try a little less hard. Because I'm so bad at reading and streaming. You don't have... Yeah, I know Tom streams, but apart from that, like, it's difficult. It's difficult when you got a game plan going on. It was a stretch. No, you're usually on point. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, buddy. It was good. That's me just getting after looking back at it. Palace have decent fixtures. Daft's getting us right back on track. I love you, buddy. Crystal Palace after next game week, because next game week is really difficult to even fathom, so we don't have to really look at it too much. But game week 13, you can see the swings, right? Leicester are still there. Manchester United, we just talked about. Liverpool have came from the depths, and although they have that blank game week 18, they still have good fixtures. And you could actually say that from game week 13 to game week 17, they're kind of like, they're really good. And then game week 18 to 22, at least in this, they're not that great. Leicester away, difficult. Wolves at home, I would say, is okay. Sheffield, we all know Sheffield United are bosses. And then Tottenham away, okay, that's probably easy. But yeah, Crystal Palace away. If you remember, everyone who was saying, I'm not going to be bringing in Vardy because Crystal Palace are great defenders and he's not going to get a sniff. Just breathe it in. Liverpool are going to fucking score against Crystal Palace. Guarantee it. So yeah, they're gonna do it. And then Brighton's a decent game. I think Liverpool versus Everton's always going to be fireworks because of the derby, right? So that's fair enough. And then Bournemouth's a decent game. Watford is, yeah. These 5 fixtures here are great. I feel like they're so good, underrated, and no wonder everyone's kind of bringing on. Why don't they play in game week 18? Yeah, the Club World Cup clashes. Vardy and Soyuncu did you good, Dabs. Well then, they have a mad fixture pile up in December. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Liverpool are they're gonna start this long run of games. But the problem, let's actually have a look. Liverpool fixtures in December. The problem that I have is that last year, they didn't really do that much for, I have no idea where I'm going. Oh, here we go. Perfect. You just scroll down, David. That would be great. That game week 18 is going to be carnage for the unprepared. I hope so. Call them. I'm keeping Aubameyang until game week 15-16. Oh, let's check that out real quick. Where are Arsenal? Southampton, Norwich, Brighton, West Ham. Then difficult. I like that. I like that choice. Southampton, Norwich, Brighton, West Ham. And I know they've got Leicester this week, but that's pretty decent. Right, let's look at Liverpool. So they play Genk on Tuesday, and then Manchester City. Then they've got a week, which is decent, and then they play Napoli, and then they play Brighton on the 30th. Then 5 days later, they play Everton for another Premier League game, and then 5 days later, 3 days later, they play Bournemouth, and then 3 days later, they play Salzburg, and then 4 days later, they play Watford, and on and on and on it goes. That is hard, because what we want, we kind of, to be fair though, this fixture, and this fixture, and this fixture are all the ones that we kind of want to cover. After that, there's a lot going on, and they've got a lot of, like, West Ham would have been good, but it's been postponed, so that doesn't count. After that, it's kind of difficult. So if we're going to be doubling up, it's a little bit before it gets mental, right? This is a week in between. And then, Napoli's a hard fixture, but they've got enough time to prepare for Brighton. And then Everton, they're going to go hard. So actually, we might see a little bit of rotation against Bournemouth. But let's remember, like, Firmino and Wijnaldum and maybe Henderson are the only attacking players that are going to get rotated, right? Mane and Salah are going to be the stay-at-home moms that are just fucking cleaning and dishes and running after everyone else in the family, like, constantly. They're going to be those people. They're just going to be in every single day, every single game, like they always are, and just crushing it. However, that is a big fucking asterisk right next to Salah's name that says only if his fluid in his fucking ankle is going to be staying out of it. He's injured, and he's clearly playing through an injury. I don't like all this chat about him having to sit there and play or train with without all the other team, and you know he's got a fucking who drains fluid out their ankles. That's minging. But you know, he's still producing. He's still doing well. Maybe not for FPL, but he's still playing good. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to make of Salah, but the current place that he's at with his injury, I don't think, unless he gets better very soon, I don't think he's going to be able to play every single game. So that makes him even more dangerous to own. Jimmy says, I'll probably use it as an excuse to sell Salah and just bench Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm assuming that's for the Game Week 18. Yeah, I think Salah is an easy sell right now. He's a bit injured. He's not been playing well for FPL purposes. And he's a lot of money. And you could totally spread the funds. You don't even have to jump on Mane if you don't want to. You could totally get Maddison and Martial or something and be okay. It's becoming a thing when we think about spreading funds to everyone, like, oh, I could sell Salah and I could do so much. Who are you leaving on the bench? Lundstrom, Rico, Soyuncu. All these players, you can't play them all because you're spending your money. You're bringing in Maddison, you're bringing in Vardy, you're bringing in Martial. You're bringing in all these players. You're going to be leaving points on your bench. So it's getting to a point where we actually don't know where we're supposed to be spending our money. We can't go big at the back because that fucking didn't work. We can't go big at the front because who can guess which premium is going to be scoring next? Kane didn't even play this week. Aubameyang finally scored after 3 blanks. Aguero finally scored after playing in just one game the last 3. And, you know, Sterling's been off his game. Salah's been off his game. Mane's the only consistent one out of all of them, which is why his price has risen by 0.5 million. It's such a weird week to do that too, because he's playing City and he has this big, good run. But he's probably not going to get anything next week. So you want to hold and you don't want to jump on him, but his price is going up. And that's a difficult one. There's actually questions that we've seen a lot, and it's hard to answer. Definitely hard. Tom says, no need to transfer Salah this week, though, if you've already made a transfer, surely. I reasoned him being taken off was partly because of the ankle, but also to prep for City. Yeah, so he only got 60-odd minutes in Game Week 11. They're just, you know what they did with Aguero before, where you only get 60 minutes a game and you come off. It's probably to do with that, like, we can't be playing Salah all the time because his ankle's fucked. So what we need to do is we need to just kind of play him here and there. The difference is, though, they brought him off while they were losing. Aguero comes off when they're winning. And if they're not winning, like Wolves or Norwich, he stays on for 90 minutes, despite Pep wanting to bring him off. He just doesn't. So that's telling that Salah was probably brought off a bit more because of his injury, I think. Anyway, yeah. Liverpool have great fixtures. It's congested. We're going to have to watch for that, but I feel like Mane's still safe. So essentially, I would say Mane, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, these are all players that you kind of want to own. You don't want to own Firmino while I own him, and Salah's kind of injured. Jim's away for 5 minutes, so no bad behavior. I love that you've just told everyone that you're away, because I don't know how to... I need to mod someone else for 5 minutes. Cheers, Jimmy. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, fixtures. The ones that are... everyone riot. The ones that are absolutely essential. Ask staffs. I'm not 100%. Okay, I have to drive to work. No more chat. I'm wildcard Game Week 20, so we'll sell Mane Game Week 18 and target all my transfers to take advantage of Game Week 18 and 19. Oofed. Fucking riot, if you have the bollocks, try me. And Zero says, what about Pulisic? Yes, let's talk about Chelsea very soon. I'm going to talk about them very soon. Homer backs into the bush. Yeah. Real quick touch on that. After, even with Liverpool game week 13, Crystal Palace have the best run. So we really kind of want to watch their assets, because if they can find form here and they can actually start scoring, I think there is good potential in there for Ayew or Zaha at least. I also think that Southampton are going to come good because they do have a really good XG. Now, I don't look at it too often on this stream. Where are you, motherfucker? Understat. But it is a really good thing to kind of jump into every now and again, just to double check to see what's going on. And when we scroll down and kind of hit the XG thing, Southampton are higher than Wolves, Leicester, Tottenham. It's kind of went down a little bit, but they're definitely underperforming still by 5 goals. So they've only scored 10. They deserve 15, says the computer. PVA, yep, he's another one. Dave's learning Twitch memes. Yeah. Just keep play. Like I only watch Twitch. I never ever kind of jumped in for the old chat. So it's nice. It's nice to learn. Thanks, Tom. No worries, Colm. Still listening, of course. So Southampton, I'm sure they're gonna come good soon. I'm sure of it, because Leicester have scored 27 goals, and then Wolves have scored 14. Can you guys kind of see that? Hold on, let me zoom in. 14, and then 10, and then 16, right? So they definitely deserve some goals, and they have the fixtures now to do it. Southampton for the next 6 look great. Southampton for the next 10 still look great. And then if we get rid of these 2 fixtures that they've got, so you kind of only want to bring them in game week 14. They're still in the top 3. So I think Southampton would be a good punting team. Crystal Palace, good punting team. Chelsea, good punting team. Southampton, sorry, not Chelsea. Chelsea, let's move on to Chelsea. These fixtures, there was a few people asking, what should we do with Pulisic? What should we do with Cho? Do we still hold Mount? What the fuck are we doing? The answer is you have picked up a winger from a team who are famous in the last at least 2 years. About switching up all of their wingers, like Willian and Pedro. Now Hazard's away. You've got Pulisic and Cho fighting. Hudson-Odoi. It's difficult to say if any of them are worth bringing in, because let's have a look at their minutes. In the last couple of games for Chelsea, it's been Pulisic, because he's came in there and he's proven that he deserves a place. But Hudson-Odoi has also proved that. So he was getting, if you guys can see that, can I zoom in? Awesome. He was still injured. Then he got 27 minutes, got an assist. And they thought, okay, we'll play him again. He got another assist. Then they played him for 90, and then he got another assist. And then after that, they stopped. So he's actually only played 91 game. And this was when everyone started bringing him in, right? And he was immediately benched. And then Pulisic came in, and he absolutely dominated. But he did get a lot of minutes before, and he couldn't really put it together. However, despite not getting many minutes, he still got 2 assists. They were just so happened to be in games that you would think that they would do well in. And obviously Lampard was still adjusting his tactics and everything, and now he's kind of got them together. He came on for 10 minutes against Southampton and still got another assist. So that's 3 assists in 3 games. Then he came on against Newcastle, who were parking the bus and didn't do much, right? Then he got his first start in 6 game weeks. And he fucking stole the show, didn't he? He stole the show. So how do you give Hudson-Odoi his actual spot back? How can you justify giving Hudson-Odoi his spot back when the guy's got 4 goals in 2 games? Hudson-Odoi has got 3 assists. Pulisic has, like I just said, 3 assists in 3 games and then 4 goals in 2 games. Like he's just performing better as an FPL asset at least. Hudson-Odoi looks great and he's like Hazard 2.0. But Pulisic, what you want as a manager, the best thing you can have as a manager is 2 players playing amazing, playing out their minds and fighting for the same spot. Because it doesn't matter who you play. It doesn't matter who you play. They're gonna try and outscore the other guy. For FPL, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. Because we see Pulisic, he might play 2-3 games in a row. It's now coming up to the time where everyone is rotating. So you're rotating your wingers, you're rotating your fullbacks. That means that Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic are both risks. They're bigger risks than fucking Man City players, definitely. Even Willian, who's kind of cemented his place there, is eventually going to get rotated as well. But I'd actually prefer him. 90 minutes. Hold on, look at this. 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. Taken off because they were 4-0 up at that point. And then 90 minutes again. Like, he's got the devil's minutes. He is in it for the long haul. He is in it for the long haul. I would actually prefer Willian to anyone else. Pedro's getting on a bit. And I think Lampard is one of those, like, I love the young kids. I'm down with the kids. Kids are playing. And I know Willian's not a kid, but Pedro's definitely not. Pedro, I know he's not because I had him in Football Manager for a shit team that he didn't had. I think it was actually Celtic I actually brought him for. So, like, he's getting on to that point. If you're getting bought by Celtic in Football Manager and you used to play for Chelsea, you're probably at least 35. So, yeah. I can't see Willian going anywhere, but he's safer than Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi for sure. Jim, I love the young kids. Hey, I didn't say that. I said Lampard said that. Come on now. Let's not make it that kind of stream, please and thank you. My mod. So yeah, I think Willian of any winger. However, it's Mount all the way for me. You can't find consistency. He's got the same attacking returns as Pulisic. He plays every single game. He doesn't have anyone else that plays there. I know he hasn't really performed in the last 3 games that much, right? 3, 5, and 1. But just let him ride it out. There's no point in taking him out. No point at all. You failed to riot. Oh, daffs. Don't worry. You guys are fucking weird. Oh, the chat's not showing up in this screen, but I wish it did. You guys are weird. What was I saying? Mount, yeah. He's definitely a keep for me. I don't think there's any need. And everyone who jumped from jumped to Hudson-Odoi from Mount, I'm feeling sorry for you at this time. My thoughts go out to you and yours. All right, so fixtures. In conclusion, Crystal Palace we're keeping an eye on. Chelsea definitely keep, hold, bring in more if you have them. They're going to be doing really well. Their fixtures run is great. Is Mount essential? I would say at his price, he is probably the best midfielder you can get right now. Mid-tier. Leicester, again, keep them. Southampton, we're going to keep an eye on. Wolves are great short term. They have a pretty horrible December. So I don't know. I don't really want to jump on Wolves to have to come back afterwards. So that's my issue. Dave making some excellent points about Chelsea. Chat talking about the war. Yeah. I've tried not to say anything about it, to be fair, but there's a lot of like talk about Stalin and Hitler and such in the chat. And I can't really do anything because it's my mod that's talking. It's my mod, and if it goes for him, then I'm totally cool with it. That could be the after stream. So yeah. moving swiftly on. Let's look at the schedule again. We've got questions I'm seeing everywhere that we finish off. Now, I've tried to incorporate these questions because I know what they are into what we've been talking about. But let's just have a look at them anyway. All right, so questions I'm seeing everywhere, which I think, by the way, is a really shit name, but it really penetrates exactly what I'm talking about. Is that literally everyone's talking about this stuff. Let's talk about it on the stream. If you've got a better name, just let me know, because it's easily editable. What should we do, Sterling? Salah or Mane double up in live defense? Spelling mistake. What Chelsea wingers are nailed? I want X player. Should I take a hit? And can we expect defense returns to continue for our budget defense? I got a 9 in the Cold War because I'm part of the new generation of grading. Oh my god. All right, come on now. Come on now. FPL. FPL. I really want to talk about the war, but I can't do it. Questions on everyone's lips. I like that, but I don't like the word lips. It's very sexual. Dave, that would have gone right over your head anyway. No, I know. Yeah, still, I can't. I don't get it. And I'm very quick. Just can't do it. Questions on everyone's lips. Claters, you can do better than that. I believe in you. I need some of that puntastic shit you come up with. Tom says, if you were to pick 3 differential picks for the next 4 game weeks based on your fixture review, who would you pick? I love that question. Thank you very much for your question. 4 differential picks. All right. For the next 4 game weeks. Right, let me quickly check. Let me quickly bring it up. Popular FPL questions. Yeah, we could just call it popular FPL questions. That cuts the pace with it. All right, so Jimenez is still a differential. Not many people have him. But more importantly, Doherty, I think is also really, really good. Aston Villa at home, Sheffield United at home, West Ham United at home. They're all clean sheetable. FPL FAQs. Fucking yes. Oh, he's done it. What do we think? I was here. Yeah. That's decent. Shall we just do that right now? I could totally edit that right now. Hold on. No, it'll take a while. Right. Pretend that says on the screen FPL FAQ. I love it. Daft says questions that everyone in the FPL community are asking. Some questions are seen everywhere. Some I've made up. That is the more accurate title. FPL FAQ, subheading, some questions I've seen everywhere, some I've made up. Absolutely. So yeah, one from each. My differentials. Doherty's expensive, right? But Doherty's quietly doing what Doherty does, and he's quietly coming up to the price. So I actually do like him. For the next 4, Rashford can also be considered one. I think that he's probably going to be key with Pogba out. So if you wanted to bring him in, you could, although everyone's kind of jumping on Vardy now, and he's more expensive. So if you can't reach him, I don't mind that. I actually helped someone with a wild card last week, and I think they got around 79 points or so. But I did put Rashford in there because he couldn't afford Vardy. And it just wasn't working. Out. So I do think he's decent. If Son doesn't have a red card, I wouldn't mind him as a differential as well. Sheffield United, West Ham, Bournemouth. That's not bad. I mean, Sheffield's difficult, but not against the big teams. I feel like they should still do okay. I wouldn't touch Arsenal. Arsenal are second best in the fixtures for the next 4 weeks. I just wouldn't touch them. I don't want to have to spend 11 million just in case they score and it's through Aubameyang. I like Lacazette, but their team is just a shambles right now, and it's a total just leave it. Wolves, Southampton, Watford. Delafeu scored a penalty. We didn't talk about that. Watford. No, I don't really like anyone in Watford anyway. Janmaat maybe. And yeah, did you see Magnus Carlsen brought in Aurier? And we don't like Aurier here. What a legend. Too many better players around James's price bracket, or for 0.5 million more. Dan James is better if you want a United player. I mean, I like James because he's gonna go under the radar. So no matter if he does like really well over and over, like no one's gonna really have him. He'll be a differential for a while. And he's really cheap. But the problem, like Jimmy said, there's so many players around him, so it's hard to jump on someone when you know Martial's their number 9, and you only have to spend like another 1.5 million for a guaranteed striker position. That's hard to do. So yeah, in conclusion, 4. I do like Docker. I know he's expensive, but he's doing like good-ish. The problem with Wolves is that the only problem with that is that now it's gone back to that European thing. So yeah, I don't know. Jimenez probably, he'll play mostly. So we'll go with Jimenez. We'll go Rashford. We'll go Janmat for Watford because they do have Norwich, Burnley, and Southampton in the next 3, and those are pretty decent. Although Watford are kind of shit. And last but not least, if it gets overturned, I think Son's probably a decent punt as well to bring in. Is Delafeu essential yet, FPL Dave? No, he's fucking not, Liam. Shut up. He scored a penalty, right? But didn't he? Who did he score against? I'm sure he killed a clean sheet for me. Who was it? He killed a clean sheet. I'm sure of it. Chelsea's clean sheet. That's what it was, wasn't it? Son might be suspended, but I think they're probably going to pull it back. It wasn't a red card. If he is, then yeah, no, don't get him. Maybe Lamella then. Killed me 2 clean sheets. Oh, daffs, that sucks. But yeah, no. So I don't mind Delafeu if he's gonna kill people's clean sheets. That's okay. I'll take it. Anyone seen the VAR news? No, I haven't. Please share. So yeah, what do we do with Sterling? We've kind of already answered that. I'm gonna keep. Oh my god, I shipped him because of red card. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Stream straw poll, VAR, yeah or nay? Yeah, go for it. Do we like VAR? Now, we can talk about VAR all day long. I love VAR. I hate the people who are behind it. That's the problem. But let me know what you think in the chat. What do you think, VAR? Do you like it? Do you just get rid of it and we'll go back? Because, I mean, to be fair, VAR did fuck Firmino's goal. So yeah, let me know if you like it. I love the fact that like it's clear cut when used correctly, but then, and I used to always say things like, oh yeah, but offside is either you are or you aren't. There's no grey area. But then you've seen the guy drawing the line, and he can't even draw the line correctly. So that shit's annoying. Clears, thanks for that link. Hold on, let me click this shit real quick. VAR, Premier League debate radical changes, including giving managers the right to appeal. Holy shit. Premier League clubs will discuss whether managers should be allowed to appeal a refereeing decision during a game, and a potentially radical change to how video assistant referees are used. At a meeting of the 20 clubs next week, the idea of allowing managers a set number of appeals. We're turning into tennis. Holy shit, that's awesome. Oh, imagine that. Pep going fucking nuts. Yes, I love that. One chairman told Telegraph Sport they would be in favour of each team being given up to 3 appeals over continuous incidents during a game. However, the Premier League will strongly argue against it. Of course they will. And I'm not subscribed. Yeah, someone send me that shit if you're subscribed. I would love to read more about that. That would be kick ass. Becomes a whole different tactical consideration on its own. Yeah, it's tennis. It's definitely tennis. That's exactly what it would be. And you know they do it tactically. They'll appeal every goal. Well, yeah, but what if you only get 1 a month? Gold, how's it going, buddy? I love that you just popped up to jump in. Players called back penalty halftime. For penalty in halftime amid VAR. What, really? Oh my god, look at this, lads. I know we've kind of jumped off FPL now, but match against Freiburg could be set for a place in record books after the home side scored just under 7 minutes into halftime, and after the players had been allowed to leave the pitch. What? In the dying seconds of the first half, Mainz had an appeal for handball turned down by the referee, with the score still 0-0. Women then blew for the break, allowing the players to go in for half-time, only for the VAR official to give the handball and award a penalty. Following a delay of almost 5 minutes, Freiburg's players had to be summoned from the dressing room after it was ruled that the cross had been handled. 6 minutes and 44 seconds after the first 45 minutes up, Pablo stroked home the spot kick. Wow, that's fucking mental. Half-time penalty, yeah, last season. This is crazy. Gold says, don't know if you all heard the incident in Bundesliga. Ref called half-time, everyone went to dressers, VAR called everyone back on the pitch, and handball was found in replay. Something bizarre like that. Yeah, no, that's it. This is the one. That's fucking mental. Thank you very much, guys, for sending those in. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. Sterling, keep. Salah or Mane? Mane, obviously. Salah is a bit injured. We've just discovered that. And their fixtures coming up, he probably won't be able to play in all of them. So I think we keep. Double up in Liverpool defence? Absolutely. Robertson is proving without assists or without clean sheets, he can still get assists and goals. Trent Alexander-Arnold's doing the same. I'm actually thinking about doubling up instead of bringing Mane in. We'll see how that goes. What Chelsea wingers are nailed? Willian. Pretty much just Willian. And that's kind of shite, but he has been under the radar, so I wouldn't mind. Team reviews right after this, buddy. I want X player. Should I take a hit? Now, this is something that I'm going to actually take more time on Thursday, but just rapid fire. Hits are fine as long as it's long term. Bringing in Vardy for a hit, for example, is great. Bringing in David Silva for a hit 2 weeks ago, not great. I wouldn't have done it. Didn't do it, actually, I don't think. I hope I didn't. So yeah, how much is Willian? Good point. Let's check. All players. I'm quicker than you guys. I'm quicker. I'm quicker. I'm quicker. I'm quicker. I'm quicker. 7.1. Yes. 7.1 million. I typed it in first. So yeah, I think he's the only nailed person. And he's been slowly doing bits. He kind of took a while to get going. But in the last 5 game weeks, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 attacking returns. All attacking returns. So we'll see. He is a bit too much, though. You kind of want Maddison instead. But the question was, who's nailed? It's just him. Pulisic isn't. Hudson-Odoi isn't. They kind of have to play Pulisic, though, don't they? They spent so much on him. But yeah. Daffs. If you want to send me your team, I know you don't do Twitter. If you want to just write your team in just now. I mean, I know you're on the... It's going to work a lot better now because you're in the league, so I'll be able to click on you through there, and we can do it that way. Actually, you know what? I think I can just click on your team just now. I can do. Actually, you know what? I've got it. It's all good. We can do that. So yeah, you don't need to type it in. We'll do it next. Can we expect defense returns to continue for our budget defense? That's something that I really want to get into next week. Can we expect defense returns to continue? The answer is no. But because they're so cheap and because we don't know where those are going to be coming from, that's why I feel like we should be purchasing. We shouldn't be just diversifying our assets. Like, I know if you have loads of money to spend, you kind of want to pick the best bunch that you can afford, right? But getting rid of Sterling gives you more headache, or Salah, and you're not replacing them with a premium, gives you more of a headache on bench. And you could be one of those fatal cases where you didn't have Lundstrom this week because you've got Madison and Martial and all those guys, right? Rico, I put on my bench. My fucking, look at this shit, right? My bench this week was whoops, I'm trying to do it really fast. My bench this week got 20 points because of Cresswell and me thinking that picking him over other people would be great, right? And it didn't work out, but I still got Lundstrom. However, if I kind of downgrade Cresswell, downgrade David Silva, or downgrade Firmino and upgrade to Mane, it means that I'm going to be playing Soy every game. I'm going to be playing Lundstrom every game. I'm going to be playing all the players I want to play, and I don't have to deal with headache because I've downgraded Cresswell to Kelly, who doesn't really play, and Rico can be at least first on the bench or substitute with Lundstrom if I really don't like the fixtures, like, which is pretty much only game week 20 to 21. So yeah, I feel like I don't really like the fact that we're diversifying, or we're thinking about diversifying, because if you do, then you're not going to get those points off your bench, and the bench is probably the best way to go. So yeah, can we expect our defensive returns to continue for our budget defense? At least some of them are going to get clean sheets. But the problem is we're not fighting against getting clean sheets or not. We're fighting against getting clean sheets and having them on their bench or not, which is too hard. It's too hard. Don't make the game harder for yourselves. Cresswell over Soy is atrocious. If I had Soy, he'd be a nailed starter for me. Jimmy, it's... Don't you dare. Okay? Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Cresswell was against Newcastle. And Vardy and his friends were against Crystal Palace, who should have scored. And nearly did. So, I mean, it's one of those 50-50 things. I backed the Watford attack less than Palace, so benched Soy. Yeah, we all made mistakes, Clay. Believe you're referring to decision fatigue. Yeah, decision fatigue. That's what it's called. Don't make it hard on yourself. Don't do decision fatigue. Just make it simple for yourselves. All right, so rate my teams are going to be rather quick. Wait, Claire's, did I just read that right? I backed the Watford attack. Sorry, people were laughing at you and I was wondering why. I backed Watford attack less than Palace. So bench Soy. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, you put in Tomori because you didn't think Watford were going to get a goal. And they wouldn't have had it not been a penalty. So, yeah, no, fair enough. I think that was a okay call as well. I think I would have made that. Although away, Chelsea have had a worse... I don't know. But it's not a bad decision. Let's do rate my teams. Let's do it. Whoops. Press the wrong button. What did I just do? Click that. Get that away. No one needs to see that. Right. This is Daft's team. Daft's got 82 points. So we're going to be very, very critical. Extremely critical, guys. But if you have not been here before for the Rate My Teams, I need you to let me know a yay or a nay if you like the team or not and what you would do differently. And thank you everyone for sending your teams in for this week. And here we go. So this comes from Daft's. He got 82 points. What do we think? Chat, do we like the team or not? Bad captain choice, Salah. Now, that wasn't the worst captain choice. But, so you've got double Liverpool. You've got James. You've got Allaire. Your bench is a little bit off. Cantwell's now not the hip person he once was. Peters is okay, but he plays for Burnley, who haven't been doing that much. And I understand now why you went Kepa, because you don't like Peters, or you don't need Pope because you've got Peters. But then Burnley just haven't been producing. Cantwell to go, Haller also, says Clate. Yeah, I don't like Kepa at all. He just doesn't keep... See, if you're looking at him, like, he doesn't make... So how many save points has he had? 1, 2, 3. So it's not like he's doing well despite him losing his clean sheets all the time. He's actually just not saving at all. They're just getting... Anyone scoring against Chelsea are doing it, like, without having to shoot a lot, which is the problem. So you're spending 5.5 million for a keeper who is just not returning at all. So you rushed Kepa in a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know why, mate. I don't know why. A couple of weeks ago I rushed in Schmeichel. Now there is a player. Look at him. Just look at him. No, I said look at him. Bam. 8, 7, 3, 18 in 3 games I've owned him. 3 save points and a bonus point last game. That's who you need to bring in. You're saving 0.4 million. You're not doubling up on Chelsea, who haven't been playing that great defensively all season, to be fair. Golds has got it right. Jim's got it right. Yeah, Ramsdale, even that. I think. So, despite your great score, not many people want your team, buddy. It's just one of those weeks for you. But I agree. I agree with you saying that there are some things you can change. But by and large, like, you did have a really good game week. You've got Soy, you've got Lundstrom, you've got Manny. That's what a lot of people are trying to get to. Vardy as well, Abraham. You've got one free transfer at least for this week. Take Allaire out. Maybe upgrade James. Peters could go if you wanted to. But really, you don't really need to do much bench surgery. It's not a huge deal. Excuse me. You actually have 2 free transfers. You didn't make any last week. Go back 1 week. Another 82 points. Oh man. Oh man. And then the same people. Allaire, James finally getting something. Tamori, Kepa. That Vardy captaincy though. Fucking nice. Nice. Wow. So you've kind of been pulled up by 1 or 2 players each game week. That's all you need. That's all we need, folks. You have 2 frees. Drop Kepa and move Cantwell to McGinn. Yeah, I like that. I actually would prefer James to Maddison, actually. I mean, you don't have to. He's got good fixtures. Or Allaire to drop Allaire. Or how about this? Because we've obviously noted that he doesn't have Trent Alexander-Arnold or Robertson. So we could do Allaire down and Kepa up to Alisson. Actually, no, I don't like that. Scratch that. Fucking hate that. Delete that out of your memory. We want Robertson or Trent Alexander-Arnold. I was just trying to think of a way not to have hits. Yeah, Jimenez is fine for Allaire. I don't mind that. But we want that triple up in Liverpool. Although you don't really want it this week. So maybe a downgrade from Kepa to Ramsdale or Schmeichel, maybe even doubling up in their defense. And then afterwards jumping on, using your 2 free transfers after the international break by going Allaire and maybe Peters to whoever you need to and Robertson, if you can do that. I think I would want Peters to turn into a Trent Alexander-Arnold or Robertson and then just downgrade Allaire to Connolly or Ayew or Mousset, who plays for Sheffield United. I like that. I was thinking Allaire for Jimenez, Salah to Maddison, and defence or goalkeeper. I don't actually think you need to get rid of Salah until he becomes a burden, right? Your actual fires are Allaire and Kepa. I don't think you need to deal with Salah. You don't really need the money either because you've got all the money you need here. 7.3 million. So you've got 3 million if you downgrade, or 2 million if you downgrade him to Ayew. You've got 2.5 million if you downgrade him to Mousset. So 2.5 million. Downgrade Kepa. That's another 0.5 million. You got 3 million. You could upgrade Peters to any player you wanted. So I think I prefer that. Peters, Allaire, and Kepa out. Mousset is a good shout in my opinion. Yeah, I think Sheffield United have been playing well and Mousset has been playing well, and they also have the fixtures coming up to kind of make sure we all know it. Where are they? Sheffield United. Other than these 2, so getting rid of those 2 by moving on. Is it just going to refresh on me? It is, the bastards. So adding 2 on there. Let's just quickly look. Sheffield United. Bam. After game week 13, they have the best 6 fixtures. So, yeah, I like him. I think I might bring him in for Firmino. I'm not 100% sure. But thanks very much for sending your team in, buddy, or let me have a look at it on stream. It's really nice of you. Let's move to... Now, this is someone who sent their team in, and they were very upset because I didn't do it last week. He said, you patched me last week, Dave. And then he said I was in the big time, and he understands. This is from the second half of FPL Audit. Like I said, I was kind of balling this week, so I'm not all prepared. And this is from Bowlesy. Yeah. Thanks very much for sending your team in, buddy. Can everyone see that? It doesn't let me zoom in. Whoa. Zooming in's weird. when you're clicking on pictures. What do we think? What do we think of this team? What do we think, lads? Pookie, problem. Pope, problem. I know he's got Stekelenburg in there, but don't let Pookie and don't let... I mean, to be honest, I know Stekelenburg's in there, right? But he's got Pope. So he's got Alexander-Arnold, Tomori, Rico, Lundstrom, Soy, Mane, Mahrez, Mount, Sterling, Vardy, Abraham. The only person he has is Pookie. The only bad thing, right? What's the gimmick with Stekelenburg? Oh, some players like to put in their sub-goalkeeper that they know they won't play just for those extra points at the end of the week. Just to kind of mess with people. So that's what that is from. Pukey. You always have one. That's two now. FPL FAQ. I've got to write that shit down. FPL FAQ. And yeah, Pukey. So what are we doing then, lads? I don't like Pope. I know that he's got decent fixtures coming up, but the reason why I got Schmeichel in was because every single Rate My Team that gets sent in to me has Pope or Ryan. Now, I don't mind Ryan so much, but he's coming into some horrible fixtures. But yeah, no, it's just every single person. I mean, you get the odd Kepa, but they're crazy. So yeah, just Pope. I don't really like him, but he's fine. He's coming into some good fixtures now. The time to get rid of him was 3 game weeks ago. I don't mind this team at all. I think this team's banging. Mahrez is a bit of a punt. Now, this is the problem, actually. Now, remember when we did it on the stream, I think 2 weeks ago, where Bernardo Silva plays in place of Mahrez or Sterling? Remember we did that, and it was a big reveal, and I was like, holy shit, I've cracked it. If Bernardo Silva plays, then one of your City players is being benched. So I think the worst combination here that you can possibly have for City players is Mahrez and Sterling, because one of them will be benched every week. To be fair, you have a decent bench, so it's not going to be a big deal, but I feel like Mahrez or Sterling are going to come on if they were benched anyway. So I don't actually like Mahrez at all. I think he's a big fire only because you have Sterling. If you got rid of Sterling and kind of upgraded elsewhere or whatever, if you wanted a Aubameyang or something or whatever, if you absolutely had to get rid of Sterling, then I would like Mahrez. But Mahrez plays and Sterling plays, that means Bernardo Silva's benched, and that's fine. But if Bernardo Silva is playing, which he probably will do a lot because of the old Christmas fixtures, then yeah, one of these guys are getting benched. McGinn for James. No, I think I'd keep James. I think I'd keep James, buddy. We already did your team, Daffs. Get out of here. Clater says you feel the pressure to deliver on your old on your old stuff. Nah, man. I just like having you about. That's nice. So yeah, this team's fine. Pookie down. I don't think there's anything wrong with Pookie. Like, you might as well hold him against Watford, right? You've done him this far, and the team's banging elsewhere. I can't see anything wrong with it other than Mahrez. And your bench is banging as well. You've got Marvelous in there. You've got Lundstrom. You've got Soy. Just the keeper, and that's just preference for me. So this is a hold team for me. This is definitely a hold. Mahrez could go up to Kevin De Bruyne though. That's the thing. You're kind of missing Kevin De Bruyne. But then no one wants to do that anyway. The reason why a lot of people aren't dropping Kevin De Bruyne now, even though they've got bad fixtures, is because A, he's consistent, and B, he's got a lot of value. But you don't have that problem, right? The owner of this team hasn't got him, so you don't really need to bring him in. So there's no point in messing around with City when we're unsure of what's happening with their assets. So yeah, cheers for sending your team in, buddy. I think it's definitely a save. Am I wrong? Are we okay with that? Are we okay with saving? Because Pookie's playing Watford. And, you know, Pope's playing West Ham. So it's even... And Mahrez and Sterling, I would prefer Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling, but they're playing Liverpool, so it doesn't really matter. What did Jim say? Captain Abraham over Vardy? Or Liverpool versus City could be a goal fest, so take a punt on captaining one of those three. a little, should I say? I think most of us on the podcast that's coming out on Wednesday said that if we had anyone and we could hypothetically captain anyone, and we all picked at least Vardy, came up for most of us. So I think Vardy is a great captaincy option, and a lot of players are going to pick him. But for a differential, yeah, Abraham, Crystal Palace at home is a good fixture. Crystal Palace away is a bad fixture, but home I think Abraham's good. He's just burned too many players too many times, so I don't mind that at all. But yeah, great team. Cheers for sending it in. Shall we do your team, Jimmy? Jim. Didn't listen to your goalkeeper advice and brought in Patricio. Ugh. Did you just do it there? You just do it there. You just do it while we're talking about you. Daft's just said he's done a transfer. Wow. Well then, buddy. Right, this is my team. So I go to league. And then let's go find... Where are you? James. Bam. And Jimenez. Wow, you've brought in Jimenez and... Patricio. Wow. Well, good luck to you, buddy. You're obviously doing better than me. Right, this team is our mod. Now, we all know what we need to do. I need to see if you would take this team or you wouldn't. Yeses or nos. He's got Pope, Alexander-Arnold, Lundstrom, Diop, Salah, Mount, De Bruyne, Sterling, Tielemans, a 5 midfield, and then Jimenez and Abraham. I love that wee Abraham goal that you got. That's decent. Claytor says he doesn't like Diop. I think Jimmy would agree with you. It's Raw likes it as well. If Manny was there, yes, says Daffs. Right, okay. He's got Mendy on the bench, remember, who didn't play. Famously didn't play after 2 clean sheets. Difficult fixtures. What to do with Mendy? We know that he's not playing a lot. Obviously, we'll see if he plays during the week and then figure it out afterwards. But for now, I think we could keep Mendy. Diop, I think you're in the same place with me in terms of Cresswell. I think it's time to get rid. Now, 4.5 million defenders, I think we're going to look at in a lot more detail on Thursday because I'm kind of in the same boat and I kind of want Cresswell out. So I'm going to look up this week a lot of cheap defenders that not a lot of people have. We all have Rico, we all have Lundstrom, we all have Soy, we all have Tomori, but are there any more? Are there any more lurking about? Holgate tempted me for a differential. Southampton and Norwich coming up. Does Holgate play often? I'll need to look at it. How much is Mings? I think Mings is 4.6 now. I take a punt on Doherty for Mendy. Yeah, I like Doherty a lot, but he's already got Jimenez, so he doesn't really need to diversify too much. And you've probably just brought in Mendy. So yeah, I'd hold out on Mendy. Like we said, our benches are so good this year that it's okay to punt on players that are maybe not rotation friendly. Mendy is... yeah, you've had Mendy for a couple of weeks. That's fair. But you don't want to kind of rush him out just because of one benching. We already know it's going to happen. So yeah, Mendy in for Diop. Play them. Heaton. What's Heaton's next game? Wolves. Yeah, bench. Bench for Pope. I like Tielemans, that's fine. You don't have Vardy, you've went Jimenez over him. Yeah, Salah down to Mane. And that's kind of it, right? Dunk's a good option, although Dunk's playing like every fucking top 6 team that he can in the next 5 game weeks, which is like virtually impossible, but he is. Their fixtures are so shit. Dunk 4.6. Yeah, I'm kind of looking around that bracket though. If you've not got any money in the bank, that kind of sucks. Are you worried about Vardy? I'm not really worried about Vardy too much in this, but you don't have Soy. You've only got Tielemans holding the fort, and the last 2 weeks, Leicester have been kicking the shit out of you. So I'm trying to commit to not having Vardy for now. Okay, cool. Right, Salah down to Mane. Lascelles if you need a sub 4.5 midfielder. Soyuncu is a different matter. Yeah, I like Soyuncu a lot. Salah down to Mane gives you enough for Soyuncu for D up. If you've only got one free transfer, you don't really need to do the Mane swap just now. And you could definitely kind of hold him. You could hold D up. You could put him in the bench for Mendy. And you've got Rico as well. Rico has a decent fixture next game week, so it's not a big deal. So your bench will cover D up. So I think you hold this week, and then next week you could do a double swap with Mane, and maybe get in Soy for D up. But yeah, your team's decent. If you're not wanting to get Vardy, you've got all the players that we want. You've just got Salah in there, which is a bit of an issue. Like we talked about, his injuries precluding him from playing more than 60 minutes, and the fixtures are coming in hot and fast. So yeah, that's the stream, lads. That's the stream. Thank you so much for coming out. We're getting better. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're getting better at doing that 1 hour 30 thing. So thank you all for coming out and having a chat and having a laugh with me. And this Thursday, like every second Thursday, we do FPL chill, but this Thursday particularly is just another stream. I'm just going to be going straight into stats, looking at defenders, who I want to bring in, really all about my team. And I hope to see you there. And then next week I'm going to have I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to have. It's going to be a surprise. We've got another FPL player lined up for you guys, someone who you'll know. So that'll be awesome. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for the usual Thursday stream. Thank you very much for coming out. Jim, I see that little 1 hour 30 laugh, but technically I was streaming for 6 minutes before we actually came on, so we're only 4 minutes over instead of 10. So thanks guys, and I'll see you again next week for the Monday after. Next week for FPL and Chill episode 3, and in 3 days we'll do Thursday, and it'll be a nice easy stream again. So cheers lads, and I'll see you next time. Bye.